It's the only means I have, I think, best.
Strong challenge there, won it fairly. Oscar. It was Ashley Cole. Frank Lampard. Down to Schuller. Albanovic. That's the foul. A recurring issue, and it was for both Rafa Benitez.
I don't think I'm recording. Like, look what I'm recording. Between the two of us, I'm recording the corner.
Yeah.
I have to hold it better.
Almost felt for Torres there.
Let this ball in from Sherlock. Just a little bit behind Fernando Torres and Philip Lahm on this occasion.
It's gone out.
Linesman put his flag out. It wasn't quite there actually. He's still jogging back towards the corner flag.
Extra official had to look round the post. Corner to Chelsea. Lampard takes. Too deep.
Oh, good call for that one.
Conor Munich. Throw in. I think that's the dilemma for him, and it has been really ever since Oscar, Mata and Hazard came together. Have you got enough players who can get the ball back when you lose it?
They went with all them at United, didn't they? And despite the fact that it was a wee bit negative, United never had that many chances. They look pretty solid. But when you set yourself up like they have done after going in front here tonight, it's then very difficult. It can be difficult all of a sudden to try and break out of that and change that. That's what he has to do, perhaps, from the bench now, Mourinho. He has to. I think you can see him there. He's just the last shot we saw him. He's considering making the change. I think he's giving it some thought.
As Michael Essien and John Obi Mikel as defensive midfield players on the bench. Juan Matos on the bench again. Mistake here by Dante. Schuller. Chance for Oscar. Struck by Alexis Neuer. Lampard.
What a shot.
Well, Oscar was as surprised as anybody to get the opportunity. And Manuel Neuer improvised a really vital save.
Well, it's good work from Neuer in the end, but Oscar just needed to dance around and do something. Thought he was going to. What an opportunity that was.
That's foul by Ramirez on Ribery and an inevitable yellow card. Dante will be a very relieved man. It was a bad slip, and it almost gifted Chelsea a goal to go back in front. Was never quite going to catch him. Not legally, anyway. Boy, the teacher's desk. We've got company though this time, Jerome Boateng. Ribery. Here is Ivanovic for a corner. Right with the corner. By Kevin Luiz. And then by Oscar. And as far as Arjen Robben. Nodge from Oscar. And Chelsea might break here. Our backpedaling did well.
Good work for the line. Kept his eye on that. Kept his eye on the run up, Sherlock.
Well, we've seen Chelsea contain and break to some effect in Europe several times over the last couple of years, and they've had one terrific chance and a couple of openings in the second half. It's clumsy from David Luiz. Mario Mandzukic may have made the most of it. It's been a yellow card for the Chelsea centre-back.
He's been desperate to try and get in front of Mandzukic all night long. Anything rolled into his feet, he wants to get there, even in a situation like that. He's saying he's not jumping. That's what Luiz is complaining about. He's saying that Mandzukic is not intending to jump, he's just backing in. He's holding his ground. The centre forward's just holding his ground. As the centre half, you can't always keep on trying to win that. You can't always try and barge through the opponent and knock it with your head.
The swing of the arm sort of convinced the referee to bring out the yellow card, but the swing of the arm came after the contact.
He's not going anywhere, Clive. He can have that on his chest there. Mandzukic, all he can do is knock it back to the fullback. He can't go anywhere. It's not as if he's going to take it on his chest and turn and beat Luiz. Doesn't have to try and win that ball. Now, picks up the card.
Angel Ramirez and Luiz all on the yellow card. Kroos, David Alaba, and Mario Mandzukic. Run away through Alaba, and here's Thomas Muller. It's Ashley Cole to the rescue before he gets well played, Ashley Cole.
Brilliant defender. How often we've seen him do that. He's just aware of the run, of the clever movement from Muller. Doesn't dive in initially, just waits for his moment, and then makes the perfect challenge.
Chelsea be feeling more and more at the stretch though. Ribery with the corner. Headed by Lampard, volleyed by Robben. Out wide.
What a chance. That was where Dante slips. Sherlock picks it up. Oscar there. He just needs to move the ball a little bit more. Neuer's such a big man. Maybe just touches it one more to the left or checks back on the right, but has to do a little bit more to get it around the goalkeeper.
So quickly Chelsea grab the initiative back. If they can just stay in this game, it's a question of resisting as much as anything at this point. You're going to see Mario Götze, who watched the Champions League final with the rest of us rather uncomfortably last May, having agreed to move from Borussia Dortmund to Bayern Munich. Started the last 2 league games. Here's a chance for Hazard. Again, out of nothing, Chelsea creates something.
Fabulous ball to Eden Hazard. Again, he could leave, perhaps had a touch and kept it on his left side. Decided to go back in on his right. Just couldn't quite get enough power.
Oscar this time. There to support Ramirez, who is better perhaps for Lampard beyond it. Cole has got it back. That mistake by Neuer. Hazard. Terrific run by Eden Hazard. And now Oscar! Headed away by Dante, and suddenly Bayern believe it.
That's what Chelsea can do to you. Because of the players that they have in those wider areas, particularly Hazard, he's very good at picking his ball up with his back to goal, and then very quickly turning and finding other players. Oscar it was on that occasion.
A little over 20 minutes to go. It's 1-1. Lampard. Headed by Ivanovic. Smuggled away by Mandzukic. Miscued by Cech. No real damage done. It's called for throwing. Robben to Ribery. Here's Arjen Robben. Stopped by Ramirez.
Sloppy from the goalkeeper, that is. I mean, that's so straightforward. He's in there first time. It's not like he's trying to take a touch. Just make sure you get that freedom.
Thomas Muller will give way to Mario Götze, who's spent the early part of the summer nursing the injury which kept him out of the Champions League final, but that £32 million release clause that Bayern Munich triggered controversially last spring.
Interesting that one with Muller. I do like Thomas Muller, but he's a runner. He likes to run from those wider areas and then drift inside. Of course, with Ribery and Robben in this formation, not able to do it.
Ribery. We thought around about the time of the Champions League final that Robert Lewandowski would be following Götze to Bayern Munich, and he eventually signed a new contract with Borussia Dortmund. Petr Cech brought that upon Chelsea. They survived that little spell of pressure after having had one of their own. Torres guilty of jumping into Javi Martinez. Unfortunate there, I think, Torres. Maybe a little unfortunate to be left out of the Spanish international squad today. That was come as a bit of a shock to him and to Juan Mata, neither of them included in the World Cup qualifiers next week and beyond. Start of the World Cup season. Sounds a little reminder to Vicente Del Bosque with that sweetly struck opener. It's been all fine since the break. Mandzukic looking for Robert, going to Bayern Munich. Space for Götze. Quite got to him. Holder in the way. Torres doing well, jumping in front of Boateng. Nobody else near him though. Götze saying running short, but there was a late challenge by Cole and Chelsea been penalised.
See if he's able to find a little bit more room than Muller. Actually, goal just kicking his ankle as well as he drops that one off.
I bet you keep the head up to clear these lines. Ribery. He's got out of that corner. Right corner. Cheerleading too.
He always works so hard when he gets hard with real end product to his game. Such a threat when he's had the ball.
Close. It's powerful stuff. It's always heading right. The score remains the same for another 15 minutes or so. We will have extra time. Chelsea bide their time before making further substitutions. Juan Mata is amongst the players available to them. Torres is down for a moment.
Looked like a hefty challenge from Dante. I've got to say, it looked like he just wanted to fly straight through Fernando Torres there. The ball was always a little bit big for the centre forward. Centre half made sure he was never getting close to it.
Götze. Lahm. Martinez. Dante. Gross. By Cahill. I mean, as far as Javi Martinez. Chelsea just trying to keep their shape here. They'll be happy enough for Boateng to try his luck from long range. Javi Martinez is down on the near side. And rather now for Tanguy Torres. Bayern Munich did have plenty of chance to put the ball out of play themselves. So Chelsea free kick. Ribery on Ivanovic. Ribery has the long yellow card to a Bayern Munich name.
See here what Fernando has just caught him. He has right down the back of his Achilles. That's a nasty one. That is not a good tackle. That's his trailing leg, and someone breaks down the back of your Achilles like that, that's naughty. Those situations.
Oh, you missed Dante.
Benefit of the doubt whether or not this is that slip away from Dante. I just think Oscar, Boateng does well to recover and get back behind the goalkeeper.
Woo!
Do a bit more with the ball there.
Ah, he's pretty, isn't he?
Just got to move it, manipulate a bit better. Now he just tries to toe it over it. Good strike from Frank Lampard, the follow-up.
Sounds Arsenal.
The best chance that either team have had since the break, despite Bayern Munich dominating proceedings much of that time.
Just go back to that challenge play. Look, you know, Torres is the only one who really ultimately knows if that's an accidental one or whether he's just wanted to leave a bit on him there. It's actually holding his knee a wee bit as well, whether or not he's just twisted out in the way that he's fallen.
Slightly more encouraging, I think, for Javier Martinez and Bayern Munich. He has made it his business to learn the German language in the last few months, or some of it. Borriello. Oscar. Coming out. Dante away. It's the ball from David Luiz. Schuller. Ramirez. Dribbling against Dante. It's perfect.
Yeah, well played Ramirez. Such a fit ball, he's got such great energy. As much as he's been detailed to sit alongside Lampard for much of the game, when he gets the chance, particularly at this moment in the game when others are starting to tire, he's still got bags of energy.
Limping, got revived. Javier Martinez. Back up to 11 men. Lampard's corner. David Luiz with the header. It's Ivanovic. Just wouldn't quite fall. Cahill trying to shot on the turn. Sure, it was the hand of Neuer or his crossbar or both. Branislav Ivanovic's goal effectively brought Chelsea here, the Europa League final winner. Almost scored again. Lampard lifted in. Great chance for Schuller. No flag. Yes, there was, belatedly, sorry.
This is the corner, Lampard. David Luiz gets a little nick on it there, and Ivanovic just throws his head at it. It's a terrific header. It's actually beat the goalkeeper. It's always a little bit too high, but very unlucky.
Ivanovic's just been penalised, meanwhile, for a foul on Mandzukic. Camera.
Starting to get a little bit niggly, hasn't it? It's been one or two of these situations. Slowly starting to develop a little bit more. It's that scoop from Lampard. You can see Schuller there is just offside. Certainly, Gary Cahill, I think it was as well.
There was a spell for 10 minutes after Franck Ribéry had equalised here, where the second Bayern Munich goal was inevitable. Not so much so now. Chelsea carrying the thread of their own on the break. This UEFA Super Cup final is in the balance. Götze. Blocked by Cahill, and a lot of that tonight. Ribéry. Here goes Alaba down the outside again. It's actually far too early for a decisive goal because you remember last year's Champions League final, both the goals came in the last 10 minutes of normal time. Thomas Müller and Didier Drogba. Bayern won last season's Champions League final with an 89th minute goal at Wembley from Arjen Robben. Chelsea waited until the 93rd minute in Amsterdam for Ivanovic's winner against Benfica. from the ball, an awful lot. Well there with Mandzukic and Ivanovic.
To be continued, that one, I think.
If you missed the early part of the game, I did mention the fact that it is Serbia versus Croatia in Belgrade a week tonight in the World Cup, and those two will meet again. I think this is atmospheric. Last 10 minutes. Ribery rolled into Kroos. Slipped into Mario Götze. Went without the ball. And fell kindly for Chelsea. Ramirez. Nothing by Robin.
So quick he is, Iron Robin, because Ramirez is a flyer. Dutchman back, covering well for his team and bring possession.
Kroos, the ball for Love. On towards Götze. Cole is there again. Another timely interception, not a late challenge, this time by Robin.
Great work again. Ashley Cole. It's a bit of a meal of the chance, only a month from Iron Robin, but Chelsea happy that the whistle blown before we print the check, reorganise.
Ribery. Won by Lampard, but seized upon by Kroos. And Zukic onside. Here's some space for Toni Kroos. Deflected! And deflected over.
Mixes his game up well, doesn't he, Toni Kroos? 1 minute he's sitting in front of his two centre-halves, then all of a sudden he's taking a chance to just drift into that space. Mandzukic does well just to hold it back to him. There he is again, coming out with those arms behind his back, just gets a foot on it.
Ribery. Well, back towards Kroos. David Luiz charged out and put Kroos off. Kept quickly out to Oscar. Ramirez and Hazard are with him. Along with 4 red shirts. That's probably as much as Oscar could do there with a free kick. Yellow this time for Sam.
Brilliant throw out from Petr Cech. Oscar made his mind up. He's the one who sprinted out wide as soon as he saw the goalkeeper with the ball in his hands. He does really well, turns back inside. And the corner for Götze. Good delivery here.
Lampard, captain of Munich, captain in Amsterdam. Takes the free kick. Into it. David Luiz! That was a good save by Neuer. Luiz just couldn't quite direct the header out of his reach. Götze showed a lot of that to Ramirez, and that's a second yellow for Ramirez. He's gone. I think he got some of the ball, but he showed some of his stunts, almost rolled his foot across the top of the ball. Caught his man. Referee didn't like it.
My first reaction, but I thought he was unlucky. I thought he was always going to get there before Götze.
He would do well to leave now, though. The referee's not going to change his mind.
He's always getting it's a good touch.
It was a terrible challenge.
Momentum takes
Who
him
was
into Götze.
What?
Germans actually
Ramirez.
Oh,
Oh, fuck, that's a sending off.
yeah,
Top
definitely.
of that ball. I think he's unlucky, mate. I do.
Let's see where it's going.
Yeah.
Well, he missed the...
Andy Townsend.
He had a yellow card threat hanging over him going into the Europa League semi-final last season against Basel, which he survived. He gives everything. Swedish referee. He's been a bit too much there. Chelsea been in this position before.
I understand it's the referee's job. He's always going to have a look at what happens after the ball has been touched. They feel that Ramirez was heavy-handed and he's gone flying a little bit too high. As players, I tend to think that Ramirez has got there. He's always getting there first. Goethe was never going to get there before him.
A change in response to the red card as much as anything, with Andre Schürrle giving way to the more conservative midfield talents of John Obi Mikel. And a brief appearance at Old Trafford on Monday, his first and Jose Mourinho's second spell, as in the competitive games anyway, has been linked with a move away from Chelsea.
Works hard for the team, Schürrle. Really hard. Really good work from him. Great ball for Torres' goal.
Away from extra time with penalties. Yes, penalties beyond. Hazard. Scotland Henry Martinez. First for Van Ribery, trying to slip it into Mandzukic. Harry Cahill quick across the ground for a big man. Here's Oscar. Step number. Now Robin. Ribery slipped into Lahm. Maybe one pass too many, maybe not. Götze who revived it for Ribery to shoot, and it's just wide.
We'll come back to it there, Ribery had plenty of time. He thought maybe a better touch just to settle that. It's an early, just dragged it across the goal. Difficult all round now for Chelsea. Very difficult. This is that chance, David Luiz. I mentioned moments before Frank Lampard put in about the delivery. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. It's a great save from the goalkeeper. There's one there that you just think anywhere but there, perhaps Luiz gets himself a goal.
That's done well there, that's a goal kick. Showing a yellow card here to Fernando Torres. The impression that might have been on the advice of his assistant on the far side.
Just thought he was going for something worse for a minute. Orange or red or something.
Forward nicely for Torres. Dante reached around him and caught some of Torres, and here's an opportunity for Chelsea as the clock ticks towards 90 minutes. Frank Lampard might want a bit of this. David Luiz perhaps. Ivanovic wants to continue the argument. Not likely at all.
Torres is still on.
Torres yellow card from a moment or two ago. Lampard and Luiz are the two men standing over it. And Manuel Neuer has got to assemble a ward. Pretty central. was saying a moment ago about late goals. Three Chelsea shirts on the Bayern wall. David Luiz gets it into the Bayern wall. Ashley Cole.
That big side ball, didn't he, David Luiz there? Lampard, who really hits through and tries to get that dip.